These are 3 steps so that you can start using conditional branching in Microsoft Lists forms today. This game changing feature will transform the way that your organization collects data. So let's nerd out. Here we are in Microsoft Lists, and at Amy's Animal Shop, we use this list to track our pet grooming appointments. To get started with this branching feature, then we will head up to Forms. And if you are new to Microsoft Lists or this Forms feature, then I have done other tutorials and I will be sure to link those below. Let's select this form. Now, before we start to add our branching, I recommend ensuring that your questions on the form are in the appropriate order. So in our case, we want to add some branching for this allergies column. So this is a choice field, and we'll see that the pet has allergies, yes, then we are going to want to add branching to gather more information on those allergies. Whereas if the pet doesn't have allergies, then we are going to skip the additional allergy questions. So I have a allergy type column here that I'm going to add into the form. And then that's going to be added at the bottom, but we can drag this up to the appropriate section. So here we have, this is that yes, no column for the allergies. And then we have allergy type, which allows us to collect some specific information. And then we have additional allergy notes. And these are only going to be gathered if it's a food or medicine allergy. Now we are ready to add our branching. A quick pause in today's video to say that my ebook, Navigating Microsoft Passages, is available for free for you to download. Inside, you will find a treasure map to help you navigate Microsoft 365 apps with confidence so that you can increase your productivity and efficiency and reclaim your time for meaningful work. I will include a link at the end of this tutorial as well as in the description of this one, so be sure to check it out and grab your copy today. So if we go up to this little branching icon, then here we can define our branching. Now, I recommend doing as minimal adjustments here as possible, which is why I suggested configuring your form layout before you add the branching. The less adjustments here, the less issues that you will have with any of your branching on the form. So let's scroll on down here. We will see that for all of these, this little branching icon says go to next. So that's just saying go to the next question once this one is completed. But you will see that we get some advanced options when we have choice columns. So in order to add the branching, we need to have choice columns defined. So in our case, if a pet has allergies, yes, then go to next, which is allergy type. So that's correct. But for when the pet has no allergies, go to next is not correct. So here we can add branching to define where in the form we want to go next. So if we select the drop down, then in our case, we want to completely bypass this allergy type as well as those allergy notes and go straight to haircut options. So here we will define haircut options. Then for this allergy type, the next question is the food and medicine allergy notes. For food and medicine, next is correct, but for shampoos, we want to once again go to haircut options. So we'll select the drop down and then we will go haircut options. So here our form and branching has now been configured. At the end here, we have go to end of form. So this has been default added. And as a side note, the attachments is a new improvement to this forms feature in Microsoft Lists since it was released in spring of 2024. So Microsoft has been doing lots of upgrades, especially with this branching. It's really leveling the playing field between Microsoft Forms as well as Microsoft List Forms. And if you would like me to do a comparison video of those two, then drop a comment below and we can see if we get enough votes. Tip number 3 is to preview and share our form. So if we go to preview, then here we will see our form. And if we scroll on down to allergies, we'll actually see that the form has ended here. But if we select allergies, and if we go yes, then we will see that allergy type field appear. So if we select that drop down, and if we go shampoo, then it will go straight to haircut options. But if we, for example, select food, then it's going to go food and medicine allergy notes, and then the haircut options will be next. So this just demonstrates how we can customize the fields of our form based on branching or conditions that are defined within your form collection. Now, I wanted to note here that we can see allergies is a required field, but allergy type and the food and medicine allergy notes are not required. You could make these fields required and the branching would not be affected. They would still appear if allergies was selected as yes and if this was selected accordingly. But when you make those fields required, if a pet didn't have allergies, then when that response is submitted on your list, then this would show as missing information for those list items because they are required fields. So at the time of recording, the required fields, we can't change those for just the form collection. It's the same as for the form and the list itself. So hopefully Microsoft will improve that functionality in the future. Once you have tested your form, I would recommend doing a full workthrough of this form and clicking submit and ensuring that that is recorded appropriately. When you are ready, you can then share the form with your team. So if we back out of here, then we can go send form. Then we can go and copy this link. Now, I just wanted to note here that we can only share this link with people in our organization to collect data. So that is the biggest downside to using Microsoft Lists Forms feature versus Microsoft Forms, where we are able to collect responses from people outside of our organization. Once your link has been copied, then there have been some new improvements. Here we are in Microsoft Teams, and the improvement is that when we share a link, so I'm just going to Control V, in a Teams chat or in a channel, then you'll see that the link has defaulted to the form name, just streamlining that sharing process and making it easier to determine what this is actually for. But I actually prefer sharing these links in other places than just a Teams post or a Teams chat. Sharing a link to a form in just a channel or a post or a chat, it's going to make it difficult to find. So I recommend sharing this link on your Teams homepage. You can pop it as a link under quick links or even add it as a web part button within SharePoint. If you are new to SharePoint, then I will also include a link below on how you can create a SharePoint site. But for more tips on advanced features in Microsoft Lists, then you can check out this video